And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Third!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League live tonight from Circuit de JEREZ, Angel Nieto. This is race number 6 of 10 in this winter season. Sorry to get the broadcast started just a little bit late. Had some technical difficulties, but we're happy to bring you the action here tonight from Spain and looking forward to a very exciting night of action here in the GT3 machines with this league. Andy Shield back in the saddle tonight and looking for another victory this season. He leads the points by 25 over second place Adam Pohl, and he is currently looking at a few more points to his lead as he is the fastest in the qualifying session here this evening. It is a 2-race format, so we're going to have a heat race and a feature event, and they will do a 12-position invert here tonight as they do each and every week, so that really shakes things up. The fastest in qualifying, they have to race from the back in the heat race, and then whoever wins that heat race has to race from the back in the feature race. So going to be a lot of action here tonight from JEREZ. Very scenic racetrack, and looking forward to, again, a lot of racing action tonight after we've seen a really great winter season to this point. My name is Adam Baker. I'll be broadcasting the race for you here tonight, and we do want to thank you for joining us here on V-Speed to catch all of the action here from Spain. Make sure to tune in each and every night during the week. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and many other social platforms to see what we're up to throughout the week and stay up to date with what we're doing. But you can always find us here on the YouTube channel each and every weeknight and some of the weekend days as well. So looking forward to good racing action. Let's look at your fastest qualifiers from tonight's qualifying session. Andy Shield, fastest in qualifying. He'll get the deficit to have to overcome from the invert here. He'll go back to 12th position. Brian Kennedy going to roll off alongside him. He was second quickest in qualifying. We go to third quickest Dave Hines, new name this season. Clint Fletcher is back again, and he'll be 4th quickest. Darren Treacle 5th quickest. Dean Tooling 6th fastest. Perry Duncan 7th fastest. Cole Jordan 8th quickest here tonight. Michael Pavolano going to be 9th quickest, and Matthew Gazenda rounding out the top 10 in qualifying. David Curtis, Mike Nickum, Colin Kortnick, Scott Kim, Jakob Felix, Stencelier, and Peter Lanik going to round out the field of 17 drivers. So another really good field size. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these guys who are maybe starting a little further back than normal, see how they make their way through the field, as we are going to be taking a look at the race info here. Circuit de JEREZ in Spain. And tonight's racetrack, 3 miles in length, 15 corners. We got clear sky and nice temperatures. This should be a good one here this evening for these drivers to put on their best performance possible. It is going to be Mike Nickum leading us to the green flag here tonight. And he goes a little bit wide off in turn number 1. And 3 wide battle for the lead. Matthew Gazenda down to the inside. He's going to try and take it away. He will take it away. Goes from 3rd to 1st in 1 corner. And how about that move to take the top spot away? Still trying to hold off, though. Mike Nickum right there behind him. That flame machine as the whole field has made it through. No problem so far through the first few corners. Darren Treacle in the 7th spot has Dean Tulane right there behind him, who's had a very good season to this point. Andy Shield already working up a couple of spots. Now sets his sights on Clint Fletcher, the pink and gray camo machine, who's also gaining a position. And he is going to shut the door right in front of Andy Shield. And there goes Darren Treacle taking a peek to the inside of Perry Duncan to the long sweeping left-hand corner here. Andy Shield going to make the move around the outside of Clint Fletcher. Goes very wide. They're still going to be side by side battling it up here for 9th and 10th. And a car going wide right there. That's Perry Duncan missing the entrance to that corner. That stacks up the back half of the field. And they will figure it out and sort it out. Matthew Gazenda, though, coming back across the start-finish line to lead lap number 1. He will do just that. Going to pull out about a 1.5 seconds over Mike Nickum. Matthew Gazenda having a good start to this one. Apologies for some of the technical difficulties in the broadcast here so far. Just had a problem right before the start of it, and we are glad to be here. But how about Dave Hines in this green machine running in 10th position? He's seeing a nice battle in front of him. As Clint Fletcher and Dean Tulane right out the windshield. As they try to settle that battle for 8th position. Dean Tulane losing a couple of spots here in this heat race. Not a good run through that corner for Clint Fletcher, who nearly lost the position to Dave Hines. Everybody in front of them single filed out. Andy Shield right here on the back bumper of Darren Treacle. Two drivers that we've seen win races off of each other, and both having very good seasons. And Cole Jordan up here in the Remnant 2 Audi R8. You'll see a variety of GT3 machines out here. Porsches, BMWs, Audis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. I don't think if I missed any there. But side-by-side battle for 5th position. Darren Treacle has it. He's got the advantage right now. He'll be able to seal that off down in the corner. Nearly some contact, though, as Cole Jordan tucks in behind. Michael Pavolano out in front of them. Here comes Andy Shield now diving down to the inside driver's right as they go through this twisty bit of the racetrack. He's not able to complete the pass, and that is the difficulty of getting the pole. You have to start all the way back in 12th position. And he's got to make his way forward. Already 5 positions gained. Biggest mover so far, Peter Lanik, next biggest mover. We have a battle further back. Scott Kim, Yakov Bielik, 15th and 16th. This would be a last position in the points for the heat race. And you got Stencelier right there as well. 3-car battle at the back of the field. But there's always some action in this league. No matter what position you're racing for, is nearly about to go 3 wide for a moment, but it'll be 2 wide. It's got Kim and Yakov Bielik make a little bit of contact. This 7-Eleven goes off into the dirt, able to get it collected. He'll fall back though to 17th position. Do want to let you know, you got the chat wide open. If you're cheering for anybody, let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. Who do you think is going to win tonight's race? Darren Treacle with problems though, and Dave Hines involved in it. And let's take a look at what happened between those two. Take a look at the replay. Darren Treacle just losing the back end, loops around on him. Uncommon mistake. And then I think Dave Hines maybe did the same exact thing. We're going to take a look at what happened with Dave. Yep, just lost the back end there. Same exact thing as Darren Treacle. And ultimately, both of them go for the spin cycle, and they are going to be just fine getting back up to speed here. But they have lost a lot of track position. Treacle back to 13th, Dave Hines back to 15th. Racing up with Yakov, Sten, and Scott. The tail end of the field, but Matthew Gazenda continuing to lead the way. Still out in front by about 1.6 seconds. And his Porsche, Mike Nickham, in second place, the 57. Doing what he can. He sees David Curtis and Michael Pavolano slowly closing in from behind. Those two getting ready to battle for the final step of the podium. Everybody doing a very nice job keeping it together here. Clint Fletcher up to 7th place, up 2 positions. Andy Shieldo up to 6th. He's having some connection issues, it appears. Brian Kennedy up 3 positions. Colin Kortnick up 4 positions into the 9th spot. As the field working their way through the last corner here. Going back to the start-finish line, that flying saucer type bridge over the top of the racetrack. Very nice little viewing deck. Good perspective to watch the race from the 32 of Kortnick. Under pressure though, Perry Duncan, who had an issue earlier on, going to take a look down driver's right. Not quite able to complete the pass, losing the back end just a little bit as we are getting closer to the halfway point in this race. The halfway point in our broadcast will bring you some information about tonight's sponsors, Matt Motorsports, Gunfire Games, and Duncan Racing Designs, who have been awesome sponsors to this league. And so glad to have them all on board here for the winter season. You can learn more about them in the video description, as well as at that halfway break between the 2 races. And battle for third is on. It's David Curtis and Michael Pavolano. A good old-time battle here for third spot, and a little slide from the 43. And they are really living on the edge, side by side like this. A little bit of contact. Pavolano now one to back out very easily. He's going to take every chance he can, and ultimately not able to complete the pass right there. Pavolano falling back into 4th, and then David Curtis hanging on to 3rd, nose to tail behind them. Still issues for Andy Shield and his connection. Very rough out here tonight. Clint Fletcher can see that going on right out his windshield. And you can see Brian Kennedy closing in behind on him. Brian up 3 positions from 11th to 8th right now in his Ferrari 296 GT3 machine. Doing a nice job already in this race. David Curtis on the back bumper now. Mike Nickham, or sorry, that is Michael Pavolano right there on the back bumper of David Curtis in this battle for 3rd place. Not going away. As their leader going to streak on past. He's got a 1.5 second gap back to Mike Nickham. David Curtis 5.2 seconds behind. And that is where the rest of the action is starting to happen. Andy Shield has climbed into the 5th spot right now, about 6 seconds behind the leader. And I just know that if he's able to get out past the next 2 cars, he might have an opportunity to get up there and track down the leaders. We did have a problem further back, trying to see where it was. Looks like Colin Kortnick with problems has gone around. We're going to take a look and see. Might have been similar to what we were just seeing from Darren Treacle, and yeah, the back end comes around. The BMW just not handling the way that some of these drivers would like here this evening. And everybody else able to sneak on by. And it is a line of race cars from David Curtis on back to Brian Kennedy, 3rd through 8th, going at it for position. Apologies for some of the blinking problems. Think we might be having some internet connection issues here tonight, as nose to tail, 3rd and 4th and 5th. And here goes Paul Bolano, going to take a look. Driver's right in a tight right-hand corner here. Not able to get alongside, but trying to put the power back down and keep right with him. 8.5 minutes left in the heat race here tonight. Circuit de JEREZ in Spain. And he's going to get into the back bumper of David Curtis. They check up big time. Here comes Andy Shield, going to take advantage. It looks like it had stabilized for a second right there, but Shield's still having all kinds of internet issues. And they are going to check up behind. Clint Fletcher gets tagged. He's going to go for a slide and pick it right back up. He'll get passed by a couple of cars. Brian Kennedy going to race alongside. Looks like he'll give the spot to Clint. And here comes Perry Duncan with a full head of steam. Going to look to the inside of Brian Kennedy. And nearly door to door. David Curtis hanging on to 3rd spot. Michael Pavolano in 4th. Andy Shield has pulled it off the racetrack. I think the internet problem's too much. Maybe told to pull it over, and he has done exactly that. Unfortunate. Your points leader going to have to take it behind the wall after technical problems, and that is going to close the gap potentially in the championship. He does benefit from qualifying fastest here tonight, so he'll get some of those points. We'll see if he's able to get it figured out before the feature race. He'll have to come from the tail end of the field. So that is going to be quite the challenge. And this battle for 3rd is really the battle that we're going to want to watch for the rest of this 6.5 minutes. And Pavolano, big slide out of the corner there, really doing everything he can to put the power down. Starting in 4th, right where he started. David Curtis down 1 spot from 2nd to 3rd, and these drivers have been putting down pretty good laps. Quickest car so far in this race is going to be Michael Pavolano. He ran a 1:42.72. Next closest is actually Darren Treacle back in 9th. He's had that spin though and gotten recovered a little bit back up to 9th position. So far, Paul Milano the quickest, and his tires starting to fall off. Everybody's time starting to fall off by a couple of seconds. You see he dives down into the corner there, not quite able to make it happen. David Curtis defending incredibly well here. Hang on to this final step of the podium. Mike Nickham, Matthew Gazenda, they are long gone. They are over 5.5 seconds up the road from here. We'll see if Mike Nickham has anything for Matthew Gazenda, but Matt has run a very good race to this point. Went a little bit wide right there. Have to keep it smooth for the next 5 minutes of this race. That should be just about 3 more laps. 3.5 more laps. You look at some other battles. Brian Kennedy, Perry Duncan. Clint Fletcher's gotten back through to 6th, and Darren Treacle's now caught up to this pack of race cars. And he has separated himself from Dave Hines, who also had a problem, but both those drivers working their way forward. Hines actually right back up to where he started. So a pretty solid recovery from the driver of the number 7. As well as the driver of the number 7D. And he now gets a good run on Perry Duncan. Not able to take advantage just yet, but I would expect him to make a move here in the next few corners. he can put the power down this time, but no, not much better than the number 8 of Perry Duncan in front of him. Clint Fletcher starting to separate from the 3 behind him. If he can chase down Cole Jordan about 3.5 seconds up the road for a top 5 finish in the heat race. He's got that rear end damage. Michael Poblano, Cole Jordan, David Curtis. This is your battle for 3rd place, and they've actually started to make some inroads on the top 2, but Matthew Gazenda's lost a little bit of time here to Mike Nickum. I'm not sure if it was just a bad corner or maybe a penalty or something like that, but he's lost about 3 or 4 tenths of a second in battle now for 3rd. Poblano's going to take it away. A little bit of muscle there to get past the Audi R8, or rather the Ferrari 296 of David Curtis. Cole Jordan in the Audi R8 right there, trailing these 2. They're putting down better laps by a good margin over these 2, by almost a second a lap. Poblano goes a little bit shallow there, a little wide on exit. And here comes Cole Jordan with a nice run, sends it down the middle to the inside and able to make the move for 4th place. And he's number 4 Machine, and see if he can track down Poblano with just a couple of laps remaining. It's going to be Matthew Gazenda, 1.8 seconds in hand, and the rest of these drivers doing battle further back. Got a chat saying go 43. That is David Curtis. Team Curtis, good stuff, he said. PRK Drums 11, good to see you in the chat. Thanks for coming out. As we have 4 drivers under a blanket right here. Clint Fletcher on back. And how about Matthew Gazenda stretching that lead back out now, 2.1 seconds over Mike Nickum. These 2 have run a very smooth and clean race. Everybody else has kind of been caught up in something or slowed down because of something. Looks like Michael Poblano has been unleashed a little bit. Cole Jordan as well. And the next 4 behind David Curtis starting to close in, but I think it's going to be too little too late. All these drivers have had some involvement in some incident in this heat race and going to have a decent finishing result, but maybe not exactly where they'd want. I keep my eye on Darren Treacle to improve maybe 1 or 2 more spots in the last lap and a half, and then set himself up for a nice starting position as well in that feature race after the invert. And they're going to go side by side, nose to nose, down into the S's, the tight chicane. And it is going to be Darren Treacle completing the pass over Perry Duncan. White flag is going to be shown here. Chatter over the radio there from some of the drivers further in the field, being respectful, giving up the positions. And Matthew Gazenda trying to hang on for a heat win here. Mike Nickum gonna have a very solid run himself, and just kind of pacing himself in that 2nd spot. Michael Poblano on a tear right now, trying to close the gap. He has closed it up by 2 seconds on Nickum here in the last couple of laps. And really nice sights here from JEREZ. Beautiful scenery with the hills and the trees and the foliage. And the artwork on the bridges and so much here. Very beautiful to look at, as it is Gazenda and Nickum and Poblano, your top 3, and Cole Jordan doing everything he can to close up on Poblano for that final step of the podium, but looking like it's not going to be quite enough. As here comes Gazenda streaking on by, and then Nickum and Poblano continuing to chip away. He's down at 2.6 seconds, but into the chicane and a couple more corners. And that will do it here for the heat race. We'll get a couple more things figured out technically here before we get to the feature, and then we'll look at our sponsors for tonight's race. But Gazenda wins the heat race. He'll go back to 12th for the feature, and going to be a challenge from there. Poblano third. It was Nickham in second as they all pile in here to turn number 1. And the results are filing in. Take a look at where your favorite drivers finished here in the heat race. Continuing to pile in to turn number 1. Top 10 are settled. Going to look at the rest of the finishers still yet to finish up here. Stencelier, Dean Tulane, and Scott Kim, but they should be rolling across the line in just a few moments. And it looks like that is going to be the case. Cellier going to come across 14th, Tulane 15th, Scott Kim, and then Andy Shield having to take it behind the wall, not going to score any points in the heat race, and he'll have to come from the back. We'll see if he has his technical issues figured out as well here tonight. But we are going to go to our commercials. We'll be right back for the feature event. This season of the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League is brought to you by Gunfire Games, developers of the hit game Remnant 2, now available for PC, PS5, and Xbox. For more information on Remnant 2, visit www.remnantgame.com. Matt Motorsports is a sim racing rentals and events company. We supply businesses and individuals with sim rigs for all types of events, from birthdays and bachelor parties to team building retreats and corporate events. We have packages to suit all types of occasions. Founded by an automotive industry veteran and BMW lover, Matt Motorsports' mission is to spark joy in current and future car enthusiasts. Learn more at mattmotorsports.com. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
Back at the racetrack now, going to be going to our feature event. It'll be Colin Kortnick starting at the front of the field. Look forward to more action here at JEREZ after a very exciting heat race. We've got a few more things settled, I think, with our technical side. So hopefully no more problems moving forward. If you do see anything happening on your screen that we can correct, make sure to let us know. We love to improve and continue to bring you great racing content. The BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, brought to you by those great sponsors you just heard from, and definitely awesome to see so many great companies and organizations partnering alongside these great sim racing leagues to keep them going, funding their activities. And it is going to be Colin Kortnick getting a great jump on the start of this one. And he is going to pull out in front, headed down into turn number one. It'll be Peter Lanick right there behind him. Side by side, Dave Hines, who had a really good run going. Lost the back end halfway through the race and had some time to recover. Got a decent finish. Darren Treacle, Brian Kennedy, and Clint Fletcher all doing battle right here just around the top five as we get things started in the feature event. 20 more minutes of action to see who's going to come home with the victory. Andy Shield back in the race. Looks like he's got some of the connection issues resolved. At least towards the back of the field right now. He's already gained one spot. Looking to gain another one over Jakub Bielik. They're side by side, the BMW and the Porsche. And he is going to take that spot away. Side by side further up, it is going to be Gazenda and Pabolano. Couple of our podium finishers. Matthew Gazenda winning that heat race, had some good speed, able to stay out in front the whole race. And we'll talk to him at the end of the night. We'll see what he's able to do here in the feature. Now battling with the fastest car from the heat race. Keep an eye on these drivers up here at the front of the field. Colin Kortnick leading a train of vehicles all the way back to, I believe that's Cole Jordan in 9th. And then a small gap to Pabolano, who's going to start to pull away, I believe. He's gotten around Matthew Gazenda and moves himself into the top 10. So this is going to be fun to watch to see if Michael Pabolano can get himself a feature win, if Andy Shield, who's already now up another 2 positions into 13th, so 4 positions gained so far for him. And Ryan Kennedy taking a move down to the inside of Perry Duncan, really sent it down, and that is going to bring Darren Treacle along with him, and that is really tight racing between the 8 and the 70. Perry Duncan able to hold on to it. And Cellier getting battled by Andy Shield. Big slide from the 16. And Dave Hines now battling for the race lead with Colin Kortnick. Got the preferred groove going into the next corner. But Colin going to be able to hold him off. And here comes Peter Lanick with a huge run. Brian Kennedy as well. And the longer those two battle side by side, the more cars are going to get involved, but it looks like Dave Hines able to take the lead away. Remember, this is the corner he lost it last race. As we've got 2 or 3 cars around. Oh, big hit there. Gonna look at Cole Jordan. Not sure, he went off there and got back on the racetrack. It looks like they were already wrecking in front. That was Pabolano. Go back to the replay again. We can get another view of this. Pabolano. Oh boy. Contact there. Cole Jordan, Stencelier. Quite a few others get into it. That was Scott Kim. That was David Curtis and Michael Pabolano at the start of that. So Pabolano again, quickest car in race number 1. now early damage here in the feature event. And finds himself all the way back in 13th. Andy Shields now moved up 8 positions to 9th. But already 8.5 seconds behind the leader. Luckily, he's got almost 16 minutes to make up that distance. Dave Hines has stretched it out now 1.3 seconds. Remember, he was coming through the field in the heat race, lost the back end, and got a good starting spot because of that. As Brian Kennedy gets pushed up out of the way. Let's see if that was contact there. Looks like he maybe just missed the braking point. Got too far on the rumble strips. Oh, might have lost the back end just a little bit under braking. Decided to take it wide. But that cost him a couple, or at least one position, as Clint Fletcher was not able to completely get by him. But right on the back bumper now, looking for a top 5, and it is Darren Treacle up to 4th. Only 1 position gain so far in this race. But I expect Darren's second quickest car in that heat event, and one of the fastest qualifiers as well. A race winner this season to get up there. But how about Dave Hines? Really good run from him in that number 7 machine. A good distance back to Colin Kortnick, who's seeing Peter Lanick holding up Darren Treacle right now. That is nose to tail, 3rd and 4th. Very similar situation. Top 2 have kind of gotten away. We'll see if Treacle is able to get past Peter Lanick, make anything happen, and try and track down the top 2, and he would be leading the charge. As looking at lap times, Andy Shield quickest so far this race, but Dave Hines a very close second actually. He would have run fastest lap of last race with his quickest time of the night. We got battling further back, Michael Pombolano trying to recover, but has lost another spot. Here is Cole Jordan, and that front end damage probably causing issues for both of those drivers. As Darren Treacle makes the move on Peter Lanick, he'll take the spot away for the moment. Brian Kennedy tries to squeeze in that open door, but gets slammed in his face, and he's going to have to try and attempt it in another corner. Darren Treacle will see what he can do now. 5.1 seconds behind your race leader. Andy Shield is there to the back of this pack. He is just on a tear this season. Won 3 races in a row. And then missed last week. And it was Dave Wylie taking the feature win. Darren Treacle took the week 1 victory, but it has just been an incredible season for Andy, who had his problems there in the heat race, and he's going to take a look down to the inside and not be a good time for those connection issues to resurge here. Harry Duncan out in front of him. And Clint Fletcher got a little bit squirrely there, went through the dirt. And he's on the back bumper of Brian Kennedy for 5th position. Very easy on the brakes there, trying to leave some room. They're making gains on Peter Lanick, and it might be Clint's prerogative here to just stay behind Brian for just a little bit. See if he can open the door, and he's going to take a look now. Driver's right. Oh, and he's going to lose the back end. And around he goes right in front of Clint Fletcher, and that is not what he wanted to happen. Brian Kennedy, we're taking a look at what happened here. Went for a slide, and he is at the back of the field. Looks like everybody able to avoid. Not sure Clint Fletcher, yeah, he was able to avoid, but he lost a lot of ground. Now back to 7th. And then Brian backed it up, trying to get a little bit of runway. to get back onto the racetrack, but all the way back here in 16th position. With Andy Shield up to 5th. And he's now taking a look here to go for 4th. He's going to send it down hard on the brakes. Driver's right. They'll come back to the left. We'll see if he can complete the pass here. Lanik defending nicely. He's going to be able to hold on for the moment. But with that momentum on the outside groove, what's Shield going to be able to do? It looks like he's just going to actually have to defend. But now on the attack. Just like that. Back to the right side. Trying to take 4th away after starting all the way back in 17th. I think he should be able to complete the pass right here as, yeah, there goes Lanik very wide off the corner. That's going to open the door for Clint Fletcher, who's recovered already a bit. And he is going to get around Peter Lanik as well. Perry Duncan has to kind of avoid the checkup right there from the 9 machine. Dave Hines out in front, 2.2 seconds. Colin Kornick back in 2nd spot. And Darren Treacle has really shaved off a lot of time here. Last lap, he was almost a second quicker than your race leader. And we've got 9.5 minutes to go. And probably 6 laps based on the timing and scoring here. Looks like about 6 more laps to do. We're just at the halfway point in this race, realistically. Because the races don't really go for an exact 20 minutes unless they hit the stripe with 1 or with 0 seconds. But usually they come around and there's, 20 to 50 seconds on the clock, which gives you an extra lap of racing. As the battle for second starting to brew here, Darren Treacle has tracked him down, continuing to chip away into the race lead. Andy Shield back another 5.5 seconds. What a night for him. What a good recovery from the problems in the heat race. Get a top 5 out of this thing. He could get more. We could, there's still a good amount of time, but we'll see what happens here amongst these 2nd and 3rd place drivers. That is going to be Kornick defending after leading 1 lap in this race, back in 2nd, trying to hang on to a podium spot. A little bit of over the curbs right there. They come back to the long sweeper on the right-hand side, nose to tail. Here goes Treacle now, going to send it down driver's left. Hard on the brakes to get back on the throttle, and the momentum's going to be with Kornick. They're going to be nose to nose right across the line. It's going to be Treacle with the advantage for the moment, but back into turn 1, it's Colin Kornick with the preferred line and nearly making contact, has to back out of it as Darren Treacle shuts the door in his face. Dave Hines, your race leader. That gap now back up to 3.8 seconds. That is how much battling costs you. He was able to put down a really nice lap last time around. Darren Treacle now no contest for 2nd. Just can't make any mistakes. And Andy Shield seeing his opportunity for a podium finish appearing before his eyes. 7 minutes left in this race, and he's got to gain just under 3 seconds. Get up there. And Clint Fletcher, I tell you, ever since he has come back, he has been a very quick driver. It's good to see him back out here. I know he was a big part of the league for a while, doing video tutorials on the quickest line around the racetracks before each race, and that was very helpful for a lot of these drivers to improve quickly, and I think it also helped him improve quickly as we saw him maybe more of a mid-pack driver to somebody who's constantly competing in terms of speed as one of the fastest on the racetrack. And he's got about 2.7 seconds up to Andy Shield, and actually it looks like he could be closing that margin just a little bit. Darren Darren Treacle up 3 spots, looking for his second race win of the season. We'll see what he looks like here at the start-finish line in terms of lap time. 0.4 of a second quicker, and they're going to have 4 laps to go. Gonna have to pick it up a little bit more than that, or hope that Hines makes a mistake. Taking a look at other battles further back, we've got a couple of three-car groups. This one's Peter Lanik, Mike Nickham, and Cole Jordan, nose to tail. Lanik, who was up there at the front of the field for quite a while, back to 9th now. And the battle further up, that is going to be Perry Duncan, Matthew Gazenda, and Dean Tulane. There's Dean Tulane in 8th spot. Again, we do want to thank you for tuning in here tonight to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live tonight from JEREZ for race 6 of 10. This is the feature event of the night. Things going pretty well for a lot of the drivers. A little bit of a mistake there from Dean Tulane as we were on board. It cost him a bit of time and maybe an opportunity to finish better than 8th. Keeping an eye on your top 2, though. Dave Hines, he's picked it back up. I think he actually ran faster than Treacle. Yeah, just a couple hundredths quicker, but Andy Scheel up to 3rd. He's gotten by Colin Kortnick, who had a problem. Very long lap there. Must have taken a small excursion into the dirt, but that has opened the door now for Andy Scheel to get a podium finish. And what a night to get the pole and see the heat race slip away as he was making his way into the top 5. With the connection problems, he now racing his way. See if he can track down Darren Treacle for a runner-up finish, and that would be incredibly impressive. That'd be a 15 position gain in the end. Matthew Gazenda, though, having a really nice run. He is in 7th, up 5 positions after winning the heat race. That gives you a lot of confidence, and he's got an opportunity to get 6th position from Perry Duncan. Just about a second behind him here with 3 minutes left. We'll be coming back to 2 laps to go when Hines passes the stripe. Fastest car on the racetrack right now by a good margin is Andy Scheel. He has got Darren Treacle in his sights. He's got the draft on these some of these longer straightaways. That's going to help him continue to close that margin up, but he's down to about a second with 2 laps to go across the line. And it is Hines out in front, still hanging on to a 3-second lead, doing everything he needs to do to take a victory. Hold off these 2 drivers who have already got victories this season. And Fletcher all over the back of Colin Kortnick, and his good run, his good night continues. As he has made his way 7th to 5th. Had to avoid an accident. He got collected in one a little bit during the heat race, but still able to get a strong finish there. This is going to be a fun battle to watch as we are also keeping an eye on 2nd and 3rd. That margin now down to 3/4 of a second. As Scheel continues to make inroads. And it's looking all but over for Dave Hines to take the victory, but 2nd and 3rd. Oh, a little slide right there from the 7. That could cost some time, but actually, no, he was able to get through that corner faster than either of these 2. And we are going to be coming back 1 lap to go from JEREZ, race number 6. Other battles further back. Peter Lanik, Mike Nickham, Cole Jordan. Fighting for positions inside the top 10, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And you can also throw Michael Pavolano into this one after his early problems cost him a shot at the win. He was really flying through the field. And here he goes now, going to look driver's left on Cole Jordan, who opens the door. Pavolano trying to get a top 10 out of tonight's race. Not able to put the power down very well right there, but the battle for second is on Treacle. Struggling just a little bit at this point. And Andy Shields still about a half second a lap quicker. It's all about making the pass, though. Is he going to have an opportunity? Look at him dive it in there under braking. And going to peek the nose out. Drivers right, and that is going to cause Treacle to go a little bit defensive on turn entry. And Shield looks driver's left, going to try and get that wide arc, that good exit, but not able to put the power down incredibly effectively right there. But just running a very nice and smooth line. Only a few more corners left in this race to make a pass, and he's there. He's a car length and a half to get up to runner-up position, and giving it everything he has got, sliding the back end of that Porsche. And it's going to be the chicane right here. Not going to be able to make the move, but trying to take a nice run to maybe get an opportunity at the end of it. Treacle just a little bit too strong through that section, able to put the power down nicely, and he's going to go defensive in the final corner. What is Shield going to be able to do? Wide entry. And the battle is going to be on for second, coming to the start-finish line, but Treacle going to be able to win that drag race. Dave Hines wins the race, and Andy Shield, big mover tonight, finishes in third. Clint Fletcher going to take fourth away. Colin Kortnick going to finish in fifth. We keep an eye on the battles further back. This is in to the last corner. Mike Nickham, Peter Lanik, Cole Jordan, Mike Pavolano. It's going to be a close battle to the start-finish line. Cole Jordan alongside, but it's going to be Mike Nickham hanging on for 10th as they continue to pile it in to turn number 1, as is tradition here. And what a race from JEREZ, and some big movers, some big moves, making for exciting action once again in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Race number 6 has parts flying, cars flying, and it was Dave Hines taking the victory. Darren Treacle second, Andy Shield third, Clint Fletcher fourth, Colin Kortnick in 5th, Perry Duncan in 6th, Matthew Gazenda finishes in 7th. He'll be driver of the day from Team V-Speed. So we'll give him an interview after his heat win. And Dean Tooling going to finish in 8th. Peter Lanik in 9th. Mike Nickham going to come home in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th, it was Cole Jordan. Michael Pavolano 12th. Jakub Bielik 13th. Dave Curtis going to finish in 14th. Scott Kim 15th. Brian Kennedy 16th. And Sten Cellier going to tow it early and finish a lap down here, and he'll finish back in the 17th position. But what a night here from JEREZ. Hope you enjoyed the racing. We'll be back after a quick commercial break with your top 3 finishers.
Matt Motorsports is a sim racing rentals and events company. We supply businesses and individuals with sim rigs for all types of events, from birthdays and bachelor parties to team building retreats and corporate events. We have packages to suit all types of occasions. Founded by an automotive industry veteran and BMW lover, Matt Motorsports' mission is to spark joy in current and future car enthusiasts. Learn more at mattmotorsports.com.
There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver's style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
And we are back at the racetrack now. Going to be taking a look at our race winner here tonight from JEREZ. That is Dave Hines. Really great run here in the feature event. Able to win by 3.9 seconds over Darren Treacle. See if we can pull Dave into the booth here. Hey Dave, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey Adam, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good, man, and what a nice feature run for you here. You took the lead early, able to drive away, and some of the fastest guys in the league closing in, but you're able to hold them off and actually extend the gap there in the closing laps. Just describe your night here.
Yeah, well, first, it's good to be back with some of these folks. I appreciate everybody running the event. See some familiar faces in here from previous BMWCCA racing in the past. Yakov, Peter, Brian Kennedy, Adam Pohl. So, yeah, it's good to be racing with these guys again. It was a pretty straightforward night for me. Just kind of kept the car on the track and fought some pretty decent tire degradation, but brought it home in the end.
Yeah, we saw a lot of fall off, like, 2 or 3 seconds in some cases, but you definitely, kept it strong out there. We're putting down consistent, clean laps, and didn't really have too much traffic to worry about, so able to focus forward. But you get the win. We go to Mid-Ohio next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Mid-Ohio is great. Yeah, been there quite a few times in real life. I'll really look forward to that one. It's a great facility and a great track.
Yeah, definitely quite a bit different than this one here, but should be a lot of fun to watch the GT3 machines battle it out there. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's victory?
Oh, hey, I just want to say again, thanks to the organizers of the series. It's great to be running another BMWCCA race. All these great drivers. It's such a close, clean series that, yeah, just appreciate being here.
Awesome, Dave. Well, congrats on the victory here tonight at JEREZ, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks, Adam. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Let's see here. Second place finisher. That is going to be Darren Treacle. See if we can find Darren in here. That is Darren. Hey, Darren, this is Adam of the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, man, and a great feature race for you. After a little bit of a struggle there in the heat race, you lost the back end and had to charge through the field, but get a good starting spot, and you come home runner-up here tonight at JEREZ. How do you feel about tonight's race and the result?
I feel pretty good. I was a little bummed about the first race. I just turned in and downshifted, and the car started to slide, and it would just did its normal slow slide. There was it just never was going to catch it. It never showed any signs like it was ever going to stop, so not much I could do there. But, the feature race went well. I'm pleased with the results, considering I just bought the track last night. So, yeah, it was, and it's a fun track. It's a little bit challenging with all the sharp turns and stuff. I changed cars for tonight to see if the BMW would handle it a little better than the Mercedes, than the Mercedes. But all went well, and I had to fight Andy off. He was charging to the front, and I was debating whether or not there was time for him to catch the leader. If so, I would maybe let him go and try to hang with him. But then the white flag flew, and I was like, well, I'm going to defend as hard as I can and try to hold my spot. So, yeah, went well.
Yeah, and you were able to defend nicely there. And it's a little bit ironic. The first heat race, both you and Dave spun the same exact way in the same corner on the same lap. And
I saw that.
Yeah, same exact situation. You guys finished 1-2 here now in the feature race. So definitely an interesting turn of events there. But you come home with another very good run. We go to Mid-Ohio next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Well, I do own Mid-Ohio, so I don't have to learn it. It's a tough track. It's a fun track. It's a challenging track. Passing is hard, but I do enjoy it. I've been there in real life as well, and yeah, it's just a good old historic track, and it's going to be a challenge with these GT3 cars, but should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very entertaining and a track that I think a lot of drivers are familiar with. So could be a good showing and good battling throughout the night. But second place here at JEREZ, and anybody you want to give a shout out to for that?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to myself, Treacle Insurance Agency, Haggerty Motorsports, you for putting on the broadcast, Gunfire Games, Matt Motorsports, and I think that's Perry. Is it Perry Duncan Designs, maybe?
Yes. Yep.
And I know Scott for taking the time to put this on. We've got some new guys coming in, which is cool. So it's great to have everybody, come in and race, and everybody's pretty close. So we got a little work to do to catch up with Andy, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's been he's been on a tear here in these GT3 machines for sure, but it has been an entertaining season and great to see so many guys out here, like you said. But another strong run from you here, Darren, and go celebrate. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good night.
You too. We're going to go now to third place finisher. That is Mr. Andy Scheel, if we've got him, and we don't have him. So he was able to slip on out of here before we were able to talk to him. But points leader coming in, won the pole, was charging through the field in the heat race, had connection problems and dropped out. Had little spikes of connection problems here in the feature race, but able to charge from 17th up to 3rd, biggest mover by far. And he is going to come home with the podium finish. Unfortunately, not going to be able to interview him as he is not in the Discord, but I believe he's over there in the UK. So maybe a little bit of a late night or very early morning for him. So I think we can let it slide. But congrats to Andy on a great run as well. Let's see if we can pull in then a driver of the day. It's going to be Matthew Gazenda. I'm going to pull Matt in here. Hey Matt, this is Adam of the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, Adam. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good, man, and a great night for you here at JEREZ. You take the heat race win and then able to get a good, solid 7th place run here. Clean race for you in the feature. Just describe your night.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, actually. I just clicked with the track. I got some practice in yesterday and actually followed Andy quite a bit and picked up some time all over the place on the track because he's obviously really fast. So it was actually a really great race. I think the only person that got past me on speed was Andy, so that was awesome. I really like the track. I like the flow. It's great in the Porsche, so it was a fun night. Everything was clicking.
Yeah, and you love when that happens, right? You just kind of get in the zone and everything seems to be working for you, and definitely showed here on track tonight. We go to Mid-Ohio next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Yeah, it should be exciting. I think everybody knows that track really well. It should be fun. I'm not sure which car I'm going to end up being in yet. I like sticking with the Porsche, but I have to see because it's got some good straights there. So I'm excited about it. And it will be. Hope the racing will be as close and we have as many folks racing as we did tonight. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome to see so many guys out here. 17 showed up tonight, which is it's one of the bigger fields that we've seen in a while. And you guys always put on a great show, and yourself included with the heat win and a 7th place here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Perry and Duncan Designs for designing my car paint job, and a lot of the cars in the field were done by Perry, so I want to thank him. Also want to say shout out to my friends and coworkers at Gunfire Games, and we're sponsoring the season, calling out Remnant 2, which is the game that we just released. So I want to shout out to those guys, and then obviously Scott and the guys for running the league, and V-Speed for covering us. So thank you.
Awesome, Matt. Well, congrats again on the heat win and a great run here tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, take it easy, man.
Thank you. All right, that is Matthew Gazenda again, 7th place finisher, and we already went through the results, but we can go through them again as we are going to take a look at the race results, and they are gone. They like to expire here in iRacing after a certain amount of time, so that is going to do it here for us tonight from JEREZ. This was race number 6, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Race number 6. It was a very entertaining night, and we are thankful that you could join us here on V-Speed, and you can catch us next week, next Thursday night, right back here. And you can find racing on the channel all throughout the week, as well as the V-Speed Racing Network channel. Some great leagues on both of the channels right now, and almost every single day we're broadcasting 1 or 2 races. So make sure to subscribe, like, share, and tune in to the channel throughout the week to get some more great sim racing action. We do want to thank you once again, and have a great night.